If she could stay there, you think?
Yeah.
Alright, say hello.
Honey's podcast.
Honey's no, I don't think so. All right.
Hello.
Bloody hell. So, welcome to, hopefully this time, our first episode.
That's it.
So, we're going to do a little intro now. We're going to tell you about, what we're trying to do here, who we are.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff. So, first of all, my name's Teal.
I'm Khan.
This is Khan. Awesome. I guess the best we can do right now is say this is a little hobby project that we wanted to start. We want it to be kind of a conversation between two friends, like you've said before.
Yep.
I've said before, we don't have anything super solid, but that's because we're brand new.
Yep.
But we do just want to kind of do, conversation, run a podcast, have some fun, see where we can get with it because talking's great.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. It's
fun.
It's so much fun.
We've been friends together for about a year now.
Yeah.
So we met through jiu-jitsu and we sort of clicked really well and we became good mates, and this was an idea we've been tossing around for some time. I mean, I always wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think I was exactly the same. We both had ideas that we wanted to kind of do something like this and didn't realise that we both had the idea, and then I brought it up with you one time and you were like,
I just jumped on it.
Give it a try. And then, being super enthusiastic, literally the next week we had all this gear ready and we were just straight down to do it. So we've already done a few little recordings and stuff, and we did one last week, which we were hoping to be our first podcast, but it was a bit scattered in a way or random. We're just trying to get a thing down. We didn't do an intro at all.
It wasn't as structured as we thought.
We didn't explain anything, so it's a good, funny kind of podcast to listen to, but it doesn't really do much.
Yeah, it's a bit all over the place.
It's literally just a conversation about who the hell knows what.
Yeah,
we just talked for an hour 30. It was good fun.
Yeah.
But we're hoping this is going to be our first podcast.
Yep.
We've explained who we are, why we're doing this, and we just kind of want to keep this podcast quite current, where we're talking about what's going on in the current, in these crazy times or not so crazy times. We'll be talking about all sorts of stuff that we can get our hands onto. So we'll be keeping up to date with stuff like that. We will also just have a good jive sometimes, talk about some stuff. I mean, we're into all sorts of stuff. We enjoy gaming a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say we're the biggest gamers, but we're very into gaming news or the new games coming out. Yeah. Even though we don't play as much as I guess a real gamer would, which I find that interesting,
Well, I mean, how do you define a real gamer?
Well, let's say a mate I know. Yeah,
just be careful, because you can trigger a lot of people.
Okay, well, we don't play games I got a mate who plays games fucking all the time. He wakes up, he gets on his Xbox and he says, smokes up and he goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, and
he doesn't give a toss about gaming news and what's coming out. He's just give me the next Call of Duty, man. I guess that's not a real gamer.
Well, I guess. Look, at the end of that, I think everyone's a gamer. Even people who just play games on their phones. You know what I mean? To some degree, they're a gamer. I mean, not to. I mean, I think there's different sort of there's different aspects to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know people all they do is play FIFA and Call of Duty. That's literally the only thing they'll play. Nothing else. Nothing else. They won't play any of the big games whether it's Destiny or Overwatch or any of the big story games.
There's
The Last of Us, your PlayStation exclusives or your Xbox exclusives. They don't even know what's out there. They're just FIFA, COD,
I guess that's what I'm coming to. Yeah, they're not.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to be clear here. They're not real gamers. They game.
They're gamers, not hardcore.
Would you say?
I don't know.
Because
they do hardcore play,
I think
the games they do play.
I think I keep up with the news and what's going on in the gaming world more than I actually game. Honestly.
Yeah, I'd say so too. I'd say I'm probably the same. I follow.
Because I'll play the, almost a game at a time. Doom comes out, I'll play that. And I'm not really playing too many time. And then once I've kind of played Doom heaps, I'm just keeping up with the next thing that's coming out. The next, whatever news, this has been delayed. Oh, no, all that crap. So, but yeah, I'd say that's going to be a thing we talk about a bit on here because we're very interested in that.
Games is something we'll definitely be sort of, touching up on, whether it's a weekly basis or...
So tune out if you hate that shit. Tough, but please listen. We'll also probably talk about, I'll talk about quite a bit as martial arts. I love martial arts, anything to do with, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, UFC. UFC is what we'll probably talk about a lot. We're both into UFC. We both love our jiu-jitsu dojo and doing jiu-jitsu. So we'll probably talk about that a lot. And apart from that, I guess it'll just be whatever we feel like talking about. We might, probably space, bro.
Yeah.
I think about it. I've been really getting into. I think I watched that old documentary Neil deGrasse Tyson did. What is it? I can't remember. He's in like a little spaceship flying through the thing. I watched that again.
Yes.
I love
that
shit.
Man. It just makes you like.
And plus the way he narrates it, he's so just
soothing.
It's not like intense, like oh my god, there's a black hole. Oh fuck me, it's gonna swallow us up. He's like really.
Him and Brian Cox. He's very good.
I haven't seen much of Brian Cox.
He is amazing. He's like British version of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's so good. Like the way he explains shit and I don't know, it just makes you sort of see things from a different perspective.
Well, it's awesome because it's like I'm not a scientist or anything, but when you do listen to a guy like Neil deGrasse Tyson or Brian Cox, as you say, it's almost the way they explain their stuff. It's almost more than just science, or it's like a philosophy.
Yeah, and it
opens your freaking mind, man. Like suddenly you're just because after you watch one of those things, you feel like you're like spinning a bit. You're like, holy shit! Can you believe that all that's out there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that kind of stuff because it's going beyond your little earth rock, going out there and being like, because I think there was another thing I saw on Instagram because I follow so many space pages on Instagram, and there was one of them about I guess a telescope satellite they had out there in space, and they had it looking to like the left of Saturn or Jupiter, I can't remember, just to a black bit of sky, and they were like, you can see nothing. And they got this telescope to zoom in as much as it could or something. And the more it zoomed in, there's a galaxy, there's a Milky Way, there's a universe, and just shit kept popping. And there was just like in that little tiny like half an inch of space, there was like 4 Milky Ways or something.
Just
you know
imagine
what I mean?
the possibilities. The possibilities are endless. Like it's legit infinite. You know what I mean?
I sometimes wish, because space is awesome, but it scares me a bit. Yeah. The idea that it's like. It's a death trap out there. It's a vacuum of like there's nothing out there. There's no oxygen. You can't really live out there. But and when I watch stuff like I'll watch a bit of Altered Carbon. I just watched the second season of Altered Carbon. I don't know if you've seen that. But
I've seen a bit of it.
Extreme sci-fi stuff, right? And I'm like, I wish I was born into an era where we did space travel. Yeah. You watch Star Wars. You're like, I wish just hyperspace. Hey man, I'll be over in 3 minutes. You're on the other side of the galaxy.
Beam through it.
See, I wish like that stuff. I love sci-fi so much.
I was having this thought the other day. It's like I think space is so massive that no matter how hard you try, you can't even comprehend it because you're just not biologically capable of understanding.
You'd probably explode.
You know what I mean?
I think your head would probably.
Because okay, imagine this, like an ant, right? Imagine the life through an ant's eyes. They only see so little. They have no idea everything else that's happening around them, right? They're just focused in their own life, right? Yeah. And then imagine a bat, for example. The way a bat sees the world is different because they don't even see the world. They use echoes and shit and like, you know what I mean? Because they're blind. They use whatever. Like they fucking bounce sound off shit, and then that's how they sort of see the world. The way we see our world is through our own eyes, like what we're capable of seeing the world with. Yeah. But there's so much that our eyes can't see.
Everything basically.
Because an ant, you put an ant on this carpet, all right, it will see here.
An ant only sees 2D space. If that makes sense, right? I think I heard this from some space dude. He was like an ant. It was probably Neil deGrasse Tyson actually. An ant only sees 2D space, so it walks on the surface of the table. And I think the way he's explaining is like take the table for example. You've only got the surface area of the table to cover it, and so you've got to fill the table surface with paper. Okay, it's full. I can't put any more paper on. But then you start stacking it. That's 3D space. The ant only knows 2D space. If that makes sense.
But then they dig tunnels and shit. How does that work?
Oh yeah. I'm not a scientist.
That's why you shouldn't take us too seriously, because we're just talking out of our asses. Because they do make tunnels, right?
But that's what I heard him say.
Like full colonies
that's how he
and shit.
explained it. Yeah, true. What the fuck? But I guess.
But like the point that I was trying to make, we're only capable of seeing so much.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine, there could be things out there, the way we see an ant, we go, oh my God, there's so much to life that you have no idea. You can't understand. You can't sit down with an ant and say, hey, look, there's different countries, you know what I mean? Like, you try explaining, you'd be like, you can't. Like, imagine, like, there's a whole another level, another dimension that we can't comprehend, because we don't have the capabilities, or, our biology doesn't let us.
Well, your mind's conditioned to your world, and that's because this is what blows my mind. Like, to your point, it's like you see this whole room completely differently to how I see this room. We're in the same space, but we see this world differently. That's always blown my mind. So it's like, forget the ant almost. It's like trying to explain to someone else. If you ever actually did, in the term, step into someone else's shoes, you'd probably go mad, because you wouldn't be able to comprehend that person's reality, where you've got yours, they've got theirs, or it would be too much of a shift too quick. You know what I mean? Like, every perspective is different. I don't think there's two people on this planet who have the same perspective of anything. So yeah, if you went out there into space and met some alien, he was like, hey dude, here's how I see the universe, you'd probably just kill yourself. You'd be like, are you kidding? This is what goes on, this is what's actually out there? I thought that was only in movies, you know? Like, crazy. There's probably freaking space whales out there, man. Just space whales floating through space. Yeah, honestly, they don't need water, they just go through space.
Yeah. That's just the environment they're born in. Like, I mean, they're sort of adapted to. Like, you never know.
That'd be so
like,
cool,
like,
man.
it's like the same as, like stingrays in the water, or whales in the water. You know what I mean? Like, if you try to go down there,
comprehend a sea creature's life.
Yeah. Like, you go down there, you're an alien in their own world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're an alien in their own. When we go for a scuba diving, like, you're an alien.
I always think
you dress up like an alien.
I always think, like, water creatures laugh at us. Like, you guys think you rule the world, and you only live on a little bit of land, and we got the ocean.
Yeah, they've got like, what, 70-80% of the world.
And here we are, like, we are the dominant species, and it's like, yeah, bro, like, we have the ocean, and the ocean is so much deeper than we can even go. That's what I mean.
We can't even explore the depths of the ocean.
That's what I mean. We've explored space before we've even explored the entire ocean.
We can't, like,
it's too much.
We can't go down enough because the pressure.
There's a trench out there called there's some, I can't remember, it's something trench, and it's out in the ocean, and it's like so freaking deep that I don't think they've explored it properly yet. It's like so deep.
Oh yeah, there's so many parts of the ocean.
Like, you can't even comprehend how deep it is. And I'm just like, that's like, imagine the shit that lives down there in the deep dark. If you've ever seen I think it's Blue Planet 1. Yeah. They do an episode on like the deep ocean, right? And there's all those anglerfish with the lights.
Scary, yeah.
And they're like giant, like, there's one called like a vampire octopus or something, and it's this giant red, huge, like, it's like an umbrella.
Yeah.
It's so, you're like, dude, if I saw that anywhere else, if I saw that walking down the street, they're aliens, man. You see an octopus, that's a fucking
that's
alien.
what I was just going to say.
They've dropped out of space into the ocean. They were like, oh, yeah, cool.
Did you hear about that study I think Harvard University was doing?
What,
where
for real?
They said, it was even on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Are they classified as aliens?
Where they said that, like, the octopi could have actually come from, like, the eggs could have been on a fucking rock that flew in from space or something. Because, like, you look at those motherfuckers, right?
Well, they can go outside the water as well.
They can go outside the water. They're smart as fuck. And
really smart.
They can, like, change color and adapt and fucking... Well, that's alien shit.
And they've done all that's those studies with it about, like, memorizing pathways, like how to get out of somewhere. And, like,
very smart.
And, like, the hole's, like, this big. And the octopus is, like, this.
Yeah, and it fits through.
And it gets through it.
Yeah.
And it takes time, but I'm just like, yeah, dude, that's a superpower. If you could do that, oh my god,
man. That's alien shit. Alien technology right there.
I'm in awe of the octopi.
There's a really good video on YouTube where they give drugs to to this octopus, right? So there's two of them. Apparently, the male and the female octopi, whatever you call it, but they don't really interact with each other. They only interact with each other when it's like a mating season, right? So they gave LSD, like acid or something, to this octopus, the male one, and all of a sudden, like, he was all like, he just wanted to interact with the other octopuses and shit. Like, he was just being so like, he wasn't hanging out in his own tank. Yeah, he left his own tank and went into the other tank. Like, he just wanted to be all social and shit. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So it's not just on humans that.
But it's funny because we interpret intelligence, obviously by our own terms. But it's like octopus smart, crow smart. We go, oh, they're really smart creatures because their intelligence is as close to ours as, you know, any other creature gets, basically. You know, oh, an octopus can solve a puzzle, or a crow can, you know, crows are pretty smart. They understand stuff. Smart. So it's like, in a way, we go, oh, that's intelligence. But there's so many, I feel like there's so many different levels of intelligence, you know what I mean? And like each creature would have its own, but octopus
each to their own, right?
Octopuses are pretty crazy. Yeah. Octopi, I don't know how you say it.
Yeah. And same with the crows. I've seen this video where there's like a massive glass of water, right? But there's only water down the bottom of it. And this crow just literally starts dropping rocks into the water to sort of raise it up so then he can reach it and drink it. Like,
see, I don't even think I would think about that.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I guess I can't drink any water.
That's insane. Yeah. See what I mean? It's like, that's problem solving.
But do you think because obviously I don't know, do you believe in, you know, the evolution and shit?
For sure. Well, that's how we got here, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I believe that.
But I didn't look, man. Fuck, most of my information comes from the Joe Rogan podcast anyway. So if we do talk about a lot of stuff from that podcast, don't hate. We're just, you know,
we're just fans, eh?
We're just good fans. Yeah. So, you know, but I think on one of his podcasts ages ago, he said that with someone he had on about, I think it was like chimps or some kind of monkey, I can't remember, was going through that stage right now, the Stone Age. They were going through the Stone Age.
They're using like tools and everything to make weapons.
That's what I mean. So of course, evolution for sure. I mean, to survive, you have to.
I've got a theory. Okay. What if? All right, hear me out. Because now that we're evolved, right, and these monkeys are. Well, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, it is a bit questionable, but we are somewhat evolved, even though we act like animals most of the time. Yeah. So then these monkeys or chimps, they're seeing us, right? And we're giving them tools, we're showing them how to use it, right? What if we got to here, okay, because there were humans before us, and they helped us to get where we are now.
Is that super
ignorant? And then they've done something like, you know, maybe they were the cunts that, maybe they were the arseholes that built the pyramids and like all this shit, and then they fucked up somehow, and then that's how we sort of, we evolved, because we were monkeys back then. Because like, imagine today, something happens to this coronavirus, right? Imagine if this was like fucking 100% kill-death ratio, right? Yeah. And we're all dead, and all these monkeys are going to be left around. All right, cool. And they're going to sort of slowly start invading cities. Because that's what's been happening in America, right? Because everyone's been on lockdown. All these wild animals are sort of coming down and taking back and reclaiming these areas. But, like, who's to say these monkeys don't sort of, oh, look at these tools. And then slowly they start learning from what we had. And then they evolve. You know what I mean?
Is it ignorant to believe that we're the first...
Yeah.
Like, we are setting the bar. Whereas you're saying, what if, like... You know, for example, remember we're talking out of our asses here. We don't know. We're just speculating. But like that's how the ancient Egyptian civilization. Yeah, you know. And we were monkeys back then or something, or you know, in our Stone Age period, and they were like, check out this super cool knife or something, and here's this stone you can break open a coconut, you dumbass. And we're like, all right, dung dung dung. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's all the other theories, like Joe Rogan on his podcast all the time. He's talking about mushrooms. Like he thinks, or some scientists think that was the massive leap between when we were
the stoned ape theory, right?
Just and because apparently we shot up so fast in such a short amount of time, so they think we were exposed to mushrooms like psilocybin, and it just opened your mind, which you know it does for sure. But like that's a pretty cool theory. But yours I like because we are basically playing God to these monkeys. If you're here's a tool, like check this out. I don't have to figure this out for myself. we've just helped them skip like this much. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So it's like bang, bang, bang. Suddenly they've evolved so much quicker than they would have.
Yeah.
And
so what if someone or something or whatever? What if
aliens came
help?
down and were like, check this out? Didn't they give us some real heavy weed, like space weed?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! And then we're here now.
We just saw everything.
We're like,
let's build a
dude.
pyramid.
But they were really full on aliens, right?
Because like some of the stuff you can't explain. Like even like the way they built the pyramids, it's all like the way it's proportioned to the, I don't know, like this magnetic fields of the earth and like the way it lines up with the stars, like that shit is like to a freaking degree like on point. They didn't have any science or technology back then. How did they figure it out? How did they figure it out?
Like how do they make it? How do they do I think it's like the way they made it is beyond what they had back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we still can't reach it. There's still some tombs that we can't even open. We don't know how to get in there. And like we've got all the technology in the world. You can literally go on Google Maps and look at a street from, anywhere in Papua New Guinea or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? But we can't figure out some of these mysteries. Different
laneways of technology, if that makes sense. Like, their technology back then was cutting edge, but it was different. And now our idea... Because technology is a term not for, electronics.
Yeah, exactly.
It's... Technology is like, oh, fuck, inventing the wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that rolls? I can make stuff... I don't have to carry shit anymore. I can roll stuff, and it's so much easier. So technology is everything. We have just taken this certain path where we've got phones and computers and all this shit. We've mastered the art of electronics, kind of, and that's our technology. But then there's also building technology, like the way they build. So it's just a different kind of, we could have taken any path, but the ancient Egyptians, for an example. Like building those fucking pyramids, that's a technology. Like that's that's their own things. Yeah, it's like still we can't figure it out. It's like, well, there you go. I think the lesson always is like, which no one likes to do, is like, oh, I don't know shit, and we aren't the most advanced. These are the two scariest possibilities, right? That we are the most advanced civilization in the entire, not universe, whatever's outside, just space, right? Which is fucking scary, or we're not, basically, and there's a whole bunch of other
dumb.
It's just
like you can find a planet with just like.
But space is so big in the way that our scientists and whoever keeps up with that shit has explained it to us, that it does make a bit of sense that we haven't run into anybody else. But then if you think, if there was like Star Trek or Star Wars style, someone would have found us by now, right?
Well, how do you know? How do you know they haven't? If this alien civilization is so far ahead in technology, how would you even know? They know about you. Do you think
we're being monitored?
Well, you can watch an ant, right, all day. The ant would have no idea that you're watching it.
Fuck, bro.
Like the ant just goes on about its life, finds food,
no idea
whatever.
You were there.
We fucking stick cameras in their fucking colonies, and we know, like with all the animals, we study them, we know how they behave. They know us, but their brain can't comprehend it. You know what I mean? They don't know what's going on. They can't see the bigger picture. So what makes you think that we can see the bigger picture?
Imagine if the universe is like a menagerie experiment kind of style, where we're all being monitored by some species or energy or something. And it's all seeing where we all go. That's its hobby. It's creating worlds and seeing what fucking happens. Because, man, look, I don't know. God don't exist in my eyes. Like, if God does exist, he's a meanie. Why is such horrible shit happen? Yeah. If he's the all, God knows best and all this shit. It's like, yeah, whatever, man. That's a bit unfair. He'd be a cruel guy if he was real, but then it makes more sense to me if something similar to us was like in Rick and Morty, where his fucking car battery is a universe that powers his car.
Yeah, we're in his car battery.
Literally, we're just here like our lives mean so much shit.
Or we could be in like a very sophisticated VR fucking simulator. Like
we wake up all of a sudden out the Matrix and we're like, oh, pull the thing out your head. You Keanu Reeves. You're like, where the fuck am I?
Alien planet.
Dude, if that was the case, like, I don't think I'd ever figure out what's real. Like, all the time. You'd just be like, I don't know what's real. But I wouldn't be surprised. It would be terrifying, but like I already think that life has no purpose anyway. Like that you are born and you live and you die, right? And people and human beings have such an attachment to purpose. Like it gives them a drive. Like certain people, you take away a purpose and go, you don't have a purpose. They fall apart. They kill themselves. You know, so people need purpose. But then, I think I don't think there is an overarching purpose. But then you look at things like bees. They do have a purpose. They got to pollinate the flowers.
That's what
bees
I was just gonna
run
say.
the planet. You know what I mean? Ants, in a way, they have a similar role in like the ecosystem.
Like, you don't see a bee that goes, you know what, fuck this,
I ain't pollinating this
I'm
planet
just
today.
like, whatever, I'm just going to stay at home, I'm going to be a bum, you know what I mean? Like, you don't see that. No. But we humans, there's so many of us.
Is being evolved so great?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to work
Because at the same time, because we're so smart now, we're unhappy.
We're
not
will.
Happy, you know what I mean?
Free will, so you become so evolved, you develop free will, and then you can make a choice, and if a bee decided to make a choice, I'm not pollinating this flower, that flower doesn't get whatever it needs, and then so on, a certain species of flower dies.
Or they go, fuck the queen, I'm not protecting the queen. You know what I mean? Like,
she gets,
can you imagine that? Oh. But like this happens to us. So like really, we're fucking dumb. When you think about it.
Yes, we're morons. We are a moronic species.
We think we're smart.
Goes to war over fucking who gives a shit, right? Yeah. Kill each other for no reason, invade countries, conquer, divide.
People hate each other because of, each other's skin color and, different beliefs and shit. Like, it's just... can you imagine, fucking all the tigers were like, no, I don't like your spots, bro. Like, get the fuck away. You
that spot's in the wrong spot. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. I'm going to put you in a fucking
You'd go in there, you'd be like, these tigers are fucking stupid. Who cares about his stripes? Yeah. And then the tiger goes... Yeah, look who's talking. And you're like, oh my god. Yeah. And it's still happening, bro. 2020, we're so progressive. Life's great. Like, look at what is going on at the moment.
It's fucked up, man.
Racism's worse than ever.
Fucked up. Yeah.
All this shit, the outrage, it's intense, man. And it's like we think we move past all this stuff, but humans, unfortunately, are humans, and there's always going to be a large portion of people who are... I think fear drives all of it. Like you were saying, I hate you because you believe in something else. You believe in a God that I don't believe in. I hate you because your skin color's black, because I'm scared of all that shit. You know? The only reason you really hate something is because I wouldn't say the only reason, I'm just speculating again, but fear drives all that. Fear drives hatred, division. I don't want to hang out with you. And why? It's like, well, because you're kind of scared of that person, right?
And where do you think that fear comes from?
I have no idea. A lot of stuff, and like this might be a bit controversial, but a lot of stuff I reckon that we can't really explain, like number one, emotions. Like, just why do we have emotions? And then why do we have an ingrained kind of hatred? And have you ever had that feeling before where you want to kill something all of a sudden and you get that grit in your teeth and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, something bites you or something and you're like, oh, and you want to kill the thing, you know? You just get that sudden grit. I think all that shit is from a day so long past when we were out there surviving in the wilderness, and you had to have those emotions. You had to have that fear and that hatred, and, and probably you did have to be a bit divided back then because you couldn't live in such large groups. I think that's another thing they said on the Joe Rogan podcast. It's like groups of people would only live in like max 50.
Well, yeah, I mean? And I think that's how we came to, how we are today. With the world divided into countries and different sort of sections.
Everything's still divided.
It comes from when we were tribal days.
Imagine if there was
their own tribes and shit.
The United Earth. There's just one giant. Everything's the same, and we all have as much claim to everything as anybody else. That would not work.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that from ever.
It would never. I don't think it would ever work. The way
borders, the way we are, the way we're programmed, like us humans. I think like certain animals can, like dogs. I reckon they can. You know what I mean? Like, because okay, let's say something happens, right? Your dog is mad at you, right? Like literally 20 minutes later, you'll be like, oh hey, come here, you're so cute, and they'll be like, oh freaking shaking their tail and shit, and they love you. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, you know, if you fuck over someone, a friend or family or relative, they're gonna fucking hate. Like, we hold on to that hate. We hold on to that. You know what I mean?
I think, speculation again, I think that's because memory is a thing for us because you got to remember where the tiger was last time. You got to remember where this thing was. It's a survival technique. Memory is a survival thing. So I don't think creatures like that, I don't know for sure, but might not have a memory like ours because that's our evolution. We evolved this memory system so that we could survive, right? And it's all like we do not have any of this drive anymore to survive.
Yeah, we don't.
I've got a roof over my head, buddy. What do I need to do? If you're out there, you got to remember where these things are, right? That's where the bear hangs out. I got to remember to stay away from that shit, or it's gonna kill me. That's the bear's territory. I got to remember. Oh yeah, those Jono the other week ate those fucking berries. I remember. That's poisons. He died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like memory. And oh yeah, I think memory is a very like survival-esque thing. That
I agree. I do agree with that.
Or something. I don't know.
I do agree with that.
And that's why we can hold on to shit so well. It's because, other things have memory, of course, but I think it is a survival technique.
I mean, like, I think, like, a zebra knows that, when it sees a lion, it knows, stay away from that shit. Like, even, it just knows, it's like an instinct. You know
that's
what I mean?
another
like,
thing.
It's just nature sort of gives you these things, like these programs in you that sort of, all right, this is bad, this is good.
Yeah, it's called something, it's like, oh my fucking God, something... It's like when memories are ingrained from you. They're not your memories, but it's like, or instinct, it's ingrained in you.
It's in like... It's
transgenerational memory or something, transgenerational trauma as well, stuff like that. So you might... It's like, I saw a study of like, they had all these cards of spiders and snakes because they were trying to see if an infant was scared of this stuff. An infant doesn't know what a spider is yet or a snake. And a very young child, they show the spider and the snake and the pupils, I can't remember, dilate or whatever the opposite is of that, showing that it was scared of that thing. It doesn't know what a spider is yet. It doesn't know what a snake is yet. So it has some kind of instinct or inbuilt memory to go, that's dangerous and I got to stay away from that thing.
But I think at the same time, it's the biology of these animals as well. Like, like you see all these, like even these butterflies, some of them when they open up, it looks like an owl's face.
It's got eyes on it.
Yeah, it's got like eyes on it. So they use it to scare. It's like, how does that butterfly know that it can scare? You know what I mean? It's like, it's all sort of connected in a way. It's like programmed.
I bet that pattern on its wings wasn't there originally.
Yeah, it's like it develops it over time.
Because something figured out, not the butterfly's brain, but something. Because that's what evolution is. It's like, dude, we came out the ocean fish, if that's what I remember, right? Or not fish, but
like
we
came out
fucking
some cell living organism.
And then we figured out we've got to grow legs. We didn't have thumbs originally. You know what I mean? It's like we grew thumbs because of what we had to evolve to. But that's not us figuring that out. That's something beyond us.
It's just happening by itself.
How the fuck does that work? That's a literal, like that we can grow thumbs because, I need to climb trees, I need to grab things, I need to pick things up. Right?
Yeah. So imagine what, like, if we are around, like humanity, if we are around for another 100, 200,000 years, I wonder what we would look like.
I bet we'd look like the stereotypical alien. We don't have sex anymore. We've got no sex genitals. We've got a huge fucking head because our brains are really, like, we're just learning. And we're skinny. Because we speak telepathically. We can lift shit with our minds. We've finally tapped into the power of our brains. So I think all the physical, everything, like the physical world leaves us in a way. We move past it.
Listen to this. I've got another theory. All right, so that happens to us. We become the aliens, right? We evolve, we change. We figured out life. It's not like you get up and go to work, whatever. We're past that. We're in a different stage, right?
Yeah.
We're, space traveling and whatnot. Let's say we leave this fucking Earth, right? We go. And then these monkeys that were been watching us over these years, right, with these tools, they slowly evolve as well. And then, like, let's say we fuck off because we're like, you know what?
We're never coming
back.
Like,
we're better than this. We can find better planets. And we fuck off to, somewhere like 5 million fucking light years away. And then life here continues. It evolves. you know what I mean, if everything goes well and there's no media fucking...
They become the next.
And then they become the next thing, and then they find a laptop like how we find a fucking pyramid, and we go, oh my God, how do they work this out?
And they can't figure it out,
and
but
they go,
then they
oh my
come
God,
up with
what's
their own.
this? And then they have their own sort of...
Big boom, man. And imagine if we do go colonize Mars,
Yeah.
and we're there for so long that we forget we're from Earth.
Yeah.
And the monkeys evolve here. And
How do you know we started on Earth? How do you know we started on Earth? You don't know. How do you know? You don't know. Maybe we came here on a ship like fucking a bunch of sperm samples and
they
eggs,
just
and then...
they just carpet bombed us on Earth.
Yeah.
They would just float over the planet, and we're just falling out of the little cells, and we just land in the ocean, and we grew in there. Oh my God!
It's not like those first guys can do a podcast and record what was happening. You know what I mean? So there's no there's no evidence of
because
anything.
then if there is but see what I mean? It's like all the stuff we think is super advanced, like spaceships and shit. That all uses technology, like we have. But if there was something out there, it wouldn't be our technology.
No, it'd be something.
It'd be something
different.
so different we can't comprehend.
No, because like it will, like, you know, if they're from a different planet,
imagine if
universe,
they telepathically integrate with their ship or whatever they're using to maneuver through, and it's like we can't do that. I need a USB to stick.
Like,
here.
you know, in Avatar, they plug their hair into the fucking animals and shit.
Well,
imagine if they can do that.
That was sick. That shit.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a bit sexual, man. Or isn't it when they're having sex or something, their hair like goes into each other? It's like, I'm like, oh God. I was like, I don't know how old I was. I was like 12. I was like, ugh, God, that's horrible. But I was literally like, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's like what
What I mean is like we can speculate, but you'll never know. You'll never know.
And that's so exciting.
You'll never
to me.
know. And the universe is actually so, like, we've only been like, humanity has been around for only so long.
Speck of time.
You know what I mean?
In the grand scheme of things, and we can't even we actually can't even, like, when we say things like that, like we don't even know really what we're talking about, do we?
Like, okay, you say 1,000 years.
Imagine if
What's
you had a
1,000 years?
YouTube video that every second was 10,000 years. And you saw the Earth move, and the ocean coming in and out, and the mountains and the Earth moving and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, and we're here, we're like, yeah, everything's static. But
it's not.
We're here so briefly.
Yeah.
Especially a life of just you or I, right?
Yeah.
Which is sad thinking about it. Like, you and I are going to be dead soon.
Yeah.
Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, we're not here for long, and all this shit moves on without us.
It's like,
there's been ice ages, there's been the whole Earth's been a volcano once. You know what I mean? Like, there's just been so much.
All the bloody what do you call it? All the you know, parts of the world were connected at some point, and then it sort of broke apart.
That's how they say all the
what I mean?
different species. Different human groups went to different parts of the world because everything was there was like land bridges connecting everything, and people would migrate across them, and that's how it worked. Because it's like, how the fuck did people get to America, and then how am I over here in Australia? You know what I mean? But it's like, well, everything was a part of itself once, and now look how it is. You know what I mean? It's like, that's insane to think about on its own, that it was all at one time a supercontinent. That's what I've heard, that it was a supercontinent once, just one giant mass of Earth.
Crazy, right?
Fuck that. Imagine being on the crack when a continent breaks apart.
Like your girlfriend's on the other side, you're on this side slowly.
Oh, shit. Yeah, because that's oh my God. Well, that would have happened one time. Like, the Earth would have done that at one point. You know, like...
Yeah. But I think it would have been like a slow process. I don't think it would have been a very sort of a quick thing. I just think, like, time is not the same for everything.
Well, we've kind of invented time, haven't we?
Well, I mean, you can't invent time. Like, time is... But, like, I mean, I guess before the universe, before the Big Bang, was there time?
Shit just exists. But I guess for us, because on the planet Earth things die, like, if there's things over there that are immortal, time doesn't exist to them. If you were immortal, you wouldn't count years. You just live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't be like, all right, year 2 of me being immortal. All right, it's year 15,005. I'm still here.
But okay,
it's because we die that we have to chronicleize our time here. Like, okay, it's my 35th year. All right, cool. You know, it's because we die that we've invented time, I think. or the idea of time, concept of
Yeah,
time, because
yeah,
we
yeah.
age and we die. But if there was something out there that
Well,
doesn't
if we didn't
die,
die, we just born and then not die.
but
ever.
see, I think death is a big part of everything because the sun dies eventually.
Yeah,
you know, like everything
yeah.
dies. So it's like, but if there was something out there which was immortal, its cells regenerate all the time. Like I think jellyfish are like almost immortal. I've heard jellyfish can regenerate cells, dude. I gotta show you it. Yeah, speculation. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. But I've heard jellyfish are like next to immortal.
Wow.
Because their cells replace each other perfectly.
Man, don't crows and everything live like fucking 200 years as well?
Turtles.
Yeah,
Crows?
Yeah. Crows live like
200 years?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can Google it.
Look it up, Jamie. Look it up. I want to see that. 200 years for a crow.
I'm pretty sure crows live a very long time. Okay.
Wow,
we're
I
live
did not know
checking this.
that.
How long do crows?
That'll blow my mind if that's
live?
true. Or even more than like 50 years. Like, that's crazy.
Okay, no. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not a crow.
What is
Okay,
it?
well, hold
Like
on.
10 years.
Crows.
Not 200?
Okay, not a crow. Not a crow.
As long as 100 years. What
Yeah,
is that down there? Something.
Wait, birds. Live.
on the job research.
Life.
I
I
love
thought
it.
it was a crow. I guess not.
Or a raven.
What
or...
species of birds? Okay. Large parrots such as macaws live the longest. Generally live up to 50, but can live up to 100.
Jesus.
They can live up to 100.
Still a long time. Yeah,
I mean, what turtles? What
turtles like
4
100
to 500? Some of them.
What? I
Okay.
thought those great Galapagos turtles like 150 or something.
Okay, it's difficult to measure the age of turtles for obvious reasons, but some guess that turtles could be around for 400 to 500 years old.
Isn't that insane?
This is from turtleconversationsociety.org.
Cited.
Yeah,
There we go.
There we go.
But that's still insane. Imagine 400 to 500 years.
Yeah, and then you have like butterflies that only live like a week or two, right?
Yeah, bugs that live a day.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
So imagine that, you're like, I'm alive. Like, do you think that life feels as long as it, like, our lives feel?
I think it's relative because do you remember, I don't think you do, neither do I really, but when you were a child, a year's a long time because you've only lived, let's say, 4 years. Another year's huge amount of time. For us, a year goes by. Once you're 60, fuck, bro, year by year, it flies because it's relative to your experience. So when you're a child, a year is a really long time because you haven't experienced so much. It's like, that is a lot. And let's say you died at 6, that would have felt like a huge amount of time.
Yeah,
but the older you get, the less it all seems. It goes like this. It's like when you zoom in on like an audio file and it goes whoa, and then you zoom out to like that's us. Like we're compressing everything. We're like, oh, that wasn't that long, or that wasn't whatever else. So it's like, I think it is completely relative. If you're a bug, that day feels like for fucking ever. It feels like a literal lifetime. But obviously the bug doesn't know what a lifetime feels like, neither do we. It's just relative to us.
Yeah.
So
Fuck,
if you live 400 to 500 years as a turtle,
what would you do if you lived 400 years?
Oh my fucking god, bro.
What would you do if you lived 400 years?
Well, this is one thing though. If everyone lived 400, 500 years.
No, just you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, because
Just
then
you,
nothing
fuck
would
everyone
change.
else.
Nothing would change.
Yeah,
Earth
fuck
would still be the
everyone
same.
else.
We'd just be here for longer.
Yeah, no, fuck
everything would be the
else.
same. If it was just me and I knew I had 405 years, first of all, I'd be really sad because everyone I know and love would die.
Like over and over again.
You'd see everybody.
Yeah.
You'd see everybody you love die.
Yeah.
You live 5 lifetimes of someone.
Yeah.
You would have 5 lifetimes of friends.
Yeah.
Let's say if you let yourself, you'd probably, by your 300th year, you'd probably shut off and not want to experience that anymore. You'd probably be like, I'm sick of being crushed and hurt seeing everyone die around me.
But
so you'd have to get used to that straight away.
As a person, alright, fuck that. Like, what would you do in 400 years? Like, what are the, if you live that long? Would you want to... And let's say, like, you stay young as well. So it's all in proportion, right? So it's all in proportion.
I'd try and do everything.
Yeah.
I'd try and do everything because I reckon the longer you live, the less fear becomes a problem. You get on top of fear. Sorry to spell on you. You get on top of fear, and then you do more stuff because it's like there's things in my lifetime I won't do because I'm too scared. Let's say I don't know, jump out of a plane with no parachute, and then my mate throws a parachute, and I have to fucking swim to the parachute. You know, whatever. It's like just whatever. So you'd probably go and do everything. What would I do?
Okay, so you would. Okay, so you're pretty much saying that you do all this stuff because you're gonna be around for a long time, right? Now I'm gonna reverse the question and say to you, let's say you find out you've got 4 years to live.
Ugh.
Would it be a similar?
You'd have more power. You would do more because
because you're limited with time, right?
You know what I mean? It's like if you knew your time of death, imagine knowing that.
Fuck.
I know.
Would you want to know that?
I think you would go one of two ways, where you'd either be too terrified to do anything because you know you're going to die, and you'd just be paralyzed by fear, or you'd go, wow, I know now, and I can go do whatever I want because who the fuck cares? I'm going to die.
Exactly. Because you can find out
in 2060 on the Wednesday at 2 p.m. You're going to croak it, man. That's it. You'd be like, shit. You'd be counting down for the rest of your life if you knew.
I think if you have enough time,
amazing.
I think if you have 40 years or whatever, I think it will be different than finding out, you've got 2 years to live.
Imagine if you got there and you didn't die. You're like waiting, you're outside, you're like, take me, and you're like, shit, what? And then you probably have a massive crisis because for 60 years you've been going, this is when I'm gonna die.
And you've got so much debt because you've been taking out loans, you've been spending on hookers and drugs and shit.
Just going all.
You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna die tomorrow anyway.
Oh my god. You're like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. I'm gonna go all out tonight, and then you're like, oh fuck, and then he's like, and then God calls you, oh yeah, sorry
mate, there's been a bit of a mix
sorry basically what I do if you were saying if I only had 4 years left to live, that'd be extra terrifying, wouldn't it? But I think you would have, I think for me, this is my personal experience, I would go, all right, I have to really do stuff now. I want to experience. You'd want to go experience. You know what I mean? It's like if I got 4 years left,
travel, and
I want to go do stuff that when I die, at this time I know I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna go, fuck, I regret everything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do this or that. But yeah, I reckon living for 400, 500 years like a turtle, and then living for 80, 90 years as a human, I don't think there's much difference except the time you have to experience. So that's the only difference I can see. Whereas a turtle, or forget that. Just let's say I had 500 years, you had 80 years. The only real difference is that you just have more time to become more wise or whatever else. It's just more time. So it'd be the same. You still experience and do everything that a human does. You just got more time. But then if you were immortal, let's say, that'd be a whole nother fucking thing, bro. Because I bet immortal beings get super depressed.
Well, because there's no...
One, I know it sounds a bit morbid, but one of the exciting things that is going to happen is you're going to die.
Yeah, you're here
and therefore you it's not forever. And therefore that's why you go do stuff.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Otherwise, if I'm here forever, why the fuck do I need to do anything? If I don't need to pay bills, why do I have to go to work? It's the same thing, you know what I mean?
Do you think if because when we first sort of evolved and whatnot, we were hunters and gatherers, right?
Yeah.
We used to go out, hunt, and that was our life, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have to get up to go to work. Your work was to get up, find food, find shelter, make sure there's no, you know what I mean? That all you had to do was survive, right? Now we don't really need to do much to survive, right? So I think that's why now, all right, because our biology, the way our DNA is sort of encoded, it's we need to be out there doing shit. You know what I mean? But we're not, because we don't need to anymore. So
more
for
than
example,
ever, we're not. Yeah.
For example, let's say you what do you call it? With bees, for example. Let's say all of a sudden you go, you know what? You don't need to make honey anymore. We've got this figured out. You guys need to just chill and relax. I reckon those bees would be depressed as fuck.
They'd lose their purpose.
Because they'd be like I'm designed.
Yeah.
I'm designed for this. I'm built for this. Like they wouldn't know any
go
better.
have a holiday, bee.
You know what I mean? So like as a
What?
species, we're trying to adjust to this lifestyle that we're not designed for.
Our purpose was survival.
Yeah.
And now we're not sure.
Yeah.
We really don't have it sure. That's why there's things like mental health issues.
Yeah, 100%,
I reckon
100%.
mental health issues wouldn't have been a thing. I don't know this for sure, but I feel like it wouldn't have been a thing back then because you ain't got time for that shit. You ain't got time to be depressed. You got to go get food. You haven't got time to. Plus, they probably would have just killed them all. They would be like, "Oh, you're different."
Yeah.
Probably eat them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird, eh? Because you know, you take that away from us, where where we need to be doing shit. You know, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know, but I don't think there were lazy people back then, because if you be lazy, you're not gonna live. You're not gonna survive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas
exactly.
right now, you can just be like, fuck it. You can just be
you're
a
not
low
part
life
of anything. You're not part
Yeah,
of
exactly.
anything.
You're just everyone's on their own.
Yeah, basically. Well, that's kind of like the situation here with the COVID. It's like, imagine people who their purpose is their job and they're working all the time, and then suddenly you haven't got a job. Bam, you're unemployed.
Yeah, what do you do?
Your purpose taken away. Like, oh shit. And not even on top of that, just your purpose is gone. It's like the stress that comes with that you got to feed your kids, you got to do this shit. Like, fuck yeah. Like I said in the last little podcast we did that no one's ever going to see, but I was like, I reckon there's going to be COVID disorder something or other come out of this.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
For sure.
Because
there's gonna be effects, like down the track. Even when this COVID thing is over, we're still gonna see the effects of it.
100%, man.
Sure.
It's gonna be rough to see, and we're already going through a period right now, which is, I think, a turning point in human, maybe not as extreme as human history, but it's definitely a turning point in something.
Oh, it'll be something in our history books in 100 years from later, I reckon. Kids will be reading about it at school, like all this shit that's been happening.
Yeah, well, literally.
I think,
Like, yeah, the year 2019 into 2020, we got Donald Trump. That was bizarre. Yeah. Then we got, whatever else. I can't even remember what else. Bushfire. Like, the fucking earth was on fire. Yeah. Australia nearly burnt to death.
Yeah, Amazon burnt down.
America was similar.
Yeah.
You know
California.
what I mean? And then COVID hit, and now we've got riots, and we've got division and separation, but we've also got, communities coming together, but...
Did you hear how the Yellowstone volcano apparently could
heard about that.
Yeah.
And apparently that's a big old volcano.
Yeah. imagine if a volcano erupts tomorrow. Like one of those massive ones. And the one in New Zealand was they said that one wasn't even an explosion. It was literally a small burp. And it fucked up the whole island, and you know what I mean.
And then Hawaii, remember Hawaii just recently, basically split in half because of that volcano.
Fucking scary.
You know what I mean?
Man. Like fucking nature is.
And then you see all that
scary,
stuff, and you do go,
scary.
Shit, something's going on here. Yeah. Or maybe it's not. Maybe this is just what happens. But we're just.
But it's just part of,
because we've had such a relative peaceful existence for the last however many years since the last World War or whatever. But we're not used to it. We're like, oh, fuck, something's really going on. It's the rapture. We got to...
But the thing is, because we've only been here for a short amount of time, we think this is life. This is what life is. You know what I mean? Exactly. But, the Earth, it always changes, man. There could be a bloody solar...
oh, fuck, don't even.
You know what I mean? Like the
solar
sun,
flare that wipes us out.
Like the sun could have this, a tiny... You don't know, you have
fart.
no control. Yeah, a tiny fart.
And it shoots straight to Earth, puts a hole in it like the Doom guy from to Mars.
Yeah.
Fucking
and I'm like, GG.
Peace out. Just fried.
You won't have any warning. Nothing can protect you.
I'd be down with that. I'd be down with that.
I'm just gonna, there's a bit of extra gas here. There's a bit of explosion because it's been cooking up for years, millions of years.
I'd be okay as long as it's quick. I don't know. I don't want to suffer, but dying's dying, I guess. But there's so many different ways to die, and I don't want to have my jugular slit like in The Last of Us, where Ellie stabs a guy in the throat.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, he's dead. And then you watch him writhe and he's bleeding out. You're like, oh, shit, man. Or, you shoot someone in the throat and they're like, Oh,
yeah, you'd want a normal death, eh? But I don't know if you know. Do you know Alan Watts? He's like this philosopher.
Holy shit, you know him too?
Yeah, I listen to him.
No fucking way, bro.
And he has this quote where he says, "We open our eyes to this world without ever having to close them." Because when you're born, right? It's not like you go to sleep and then you wake up. You just wake up when you're born. Like when you're being created in the womb, right? When you're developing. And then, so you wake up without ever having to go to sleep. And then, one day you'll go to sleep and you'll never wake up.
But we forget about going to sleep for the next time we wake up.
What?
You know what I mean? Because, yeah, if we don't remember when we went to sleep...
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is like when you're like,
Yeah, you just wake up.
Sperm,
you're suddenly just alive.
You're let's say you're a sperm, right? You're going to that egg, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the embryo, it starts, you know what I mean? A life is being created.
Shit, bro.
And then all of a sudden, as a baby, once your hands, your arms, your head is sort of developing. And then you open your eyes and you're awake in there.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, where is the point that the life is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is the life the point where you're awake?
Yeah,
and suddenly you're like, this is my first birthday, because no one remembers being born.
Yeah. Or is it like in like within the sperm, you just don't have consciousness?
The sperm has life but no consciousness. Yeah. Oh geez, that could spark a whole like abortion debate.
Yeah.
Stay out of that shit.
But then at the same time, one day you'll close your eyes, and you'll never open them again. Just try to think about that for a second. Imagine closing your eyes and never opening them again. That's fucking scary, in a way. But at the same time, it's also very exciting for me.
I think you and I have the same thing. A lot of people are terrified of death. I'm obviously scared. No, but we are. Like, if you actually think about dying, like,
of course, scary. It's scary. But I feel like there's
a natural death, it's exciting.
You know what I mean?
Imagine what happens, bro. What if you become, like, a sun?
It'd be like the ultimate trip.
Literally, suddenly you die, and your consciousness goes like a fucking rocket through space. You're just like, and the planets and Milky Ways going past you. You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's the next experience.
Yeah.
You're just flying through space for eternity and experiencing all these amazing things. What if we become what is watching us right now?
Next episode, I got to tell you about my mushroom trip.
Oh, please do, bro. I'll grill you on that shit.
Because like I experienced some shit when I was on that where it sort of made me question about, like what happens after. Because I used to be religious. I used to be, I used to believe in all of that sort of jazz.
I probably should have been a bit more sensitive about my God stuff.
I used to be. I'm not
but
anymore.
Still, I should have been more. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, we respect everyone's.
We do,
sort of, you know what I mean? Like everyone's different.
This is just our opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we're not trying to make any sort of statements or anything. We're not saying you should believe this or you should believe that. We're just sort of, based on our experience, our life, our journey. Because, like, at the end of the day, everyone has a different journey. Everyone's life is so different. And everyone learns different things, you know what I mean?
And we're young boys, so don't take it too serious.
But I mean, look, if religion makes you a better person, like I think that's a good thing.
Definitely, a lot of people I've met are just regular good people from it.
But yeah, I gotta tell you about my mushroom trip. Next episode. So maybe the first episode was more space focused.
Oh, clearly. Definitely. Well, I think it was a pretty good chat life. For sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I enjoyed it. And yeah, maybe next episode I'll sort of fill you in a bit about my experiences.
I'd love to hear.
If people are interested as well.
We'll see. We will see.
Yeah, but yeah, this was fun.
A pretty good success. That's
do we want to wrap it up soon?
Straight out. I think we'll wrap it up now. Actually, that's probably.
Yeah.
Good time.
Well, we want to thank everyone for listening.
Hopefully we get this out to you.
Yeah. Hopefully this will be the...
We might have no idea.
Hopefully this will be the first episode that we've done.
Or whatever,
and hopefully this will actually go live somewhere. We don't know where. It'll be out there. Who knows? Maybe we'll download it into your consciousness, if we... if we get that shit from...
we'll figure it out,
Elon Musk, that Neuralink thing. That'd be pretty dope, eh? Imagine everyone has that Neuralink. Like, you upload a podcast, it's in everyone's brains.
Oh, ding, notification. Ding! The new podcast is available. Boop.
Yeah. You're like, stop.
Yeah, man. How do I turn off notifications?
Stop.
It's
like it glitches and shit. And like it's on a loop. It's stuck on a loop. Like you're listening to us 24/7. So that's the feature.
Imagine you're sitting on a train and you're just like sitting across, and the person across from you in their head just goes,
just like,
and you're like, oh, they're gonna call.
Short circuit.
And they're like, like they're getting called by someone and they haven't figured out how to turn off vibrate yet. No, it's just.
This was fun. This
is definitely fun. I like this.
So yeah, look, this is pretty much what we want to do, eh? Just just feel the conversation, see where things go. We don't we want to have some sort of structure, but we don't want it to have too much structure where it feels a bit robotic. We want the conversation to be as organic as possible. Just two friends, just sort of casually talking. Again, we're not experts, on the topics anything that we talk about, but we just like talking. So take everything we say with a grain of salt. Hopefully you'll find something that people who are listening, hopefully they'll find something that they can grab onto. Maybe they'll learn something, or something that will spark curiosity. You know what I mean? Like maybe this space talk, or me saying that crows live 200 years when they only live 20 apparently. So
hopefully,
sorry about that.
Hopefully just our enthusiasm catches you, because we are very enthusiastic about just talking about anything, because this is so much fun.
Yeah, I fucking enjoy it.
I look forward to every time we do it, every week. So it's good stuff. But hopefully, you guys enjoy it. And if we do figure out properly how to get it out there, it'd be great to hear feedback, actually, because then we can really establish a thing.
Yep, that's it.
Which would be great fun. So, thank you all for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
See you next time.